Welcome back to Prophecy Unfolding, where prophecy is truly unfolding. This is breaking news as of the last few hours. It looks like the President of the US, Donald Trump, has officially put the US into war with Iran in terms of a precise military attack that was done on Iran last night. Three specific locations in terms of nuclear. Are we seeing absolute chaos coming into place that could eventually bring in this fulfillment of the peace treaty, which we see in the book of Daniel? But in terms of what's happening in the Middle East is very, very significant. What I wanted to do was show you what he said just recently in his press conference. Have a listen to the words of Donald Trump just after this happened.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani.
As time goes on in 2025, it's hard to deny that we're seeing prophecy unfolding. Now, there's many out there in Christian circles who say it's not, things have always been the same, and I truly believe that people that don't want to see prophecy unfolding won't actually see it. They've been blinded. It's just not something that they see. But when we start to line up scripture in its full context and those prophecies, it's very hard to deny that these things are happening. But in terms of US involvement here in Iran, this could potentially push on what looks to be a catastrophic world war. Now, it could be more of a proxy world war rather than a full-on. Hopefully we don't see the big bombs come out. Obviously no one wants to see a nuclear war, but it just seems like everything is pushing to that agenda, and we're eventually going to see everything, as scripture told us would happen, unfold before our eyes. But this is just, as I say, this was just a bit of an update to show you that we're seeing things starting to move forward when it comes to that side of the geopolitics. This could change the landscape going forward with the Middle East and even impact around the world. But like always, remember, even though we see all the chaos happening in the world, God's always in control, and keep the faith.